so much for coming to the Kaustinen ICH Academy to follow our afternoon program today. And I'm happy that we have guests coming from so far away to Finland to speak about the UNESCO nomination processes. And this is very important topic for us as well here in Kaustinen, as we have our own UNESCO element here, and also we are an accredited NGO for this convention, so we are happy to hear many examples of this. So welcome. Yeah. Welcome to our academy, Nadja. Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm really a little bit nervous because normally I sing in front of a public like I did it now. My main job is to be a yodeler, to be a singer, to be a teacher at Hochschule Luzern. This is the only university where you can study folk music, and especially you can study there the yodel. And because of that, I'm also a member of the editorial group for the UNESCO nomination of yodeling in Switzerland, and this is the reason why I speak today here at Kaustinen Festival at ICH event, and I'm really proud to do that. Thank you for invitation. First, I want to tell a little bit about what's yodeling. Yodeling is a technique where you sing in head voice and chest voice, and you do this break between these registers, audible, sometimes in some regions very hard changes, and in some regions we do it very soft, but we change the registers. We sing with a lot of overtones. It's quite similar like the Bulgarian we heard about just before, and it depends also on this chest voice singing. And most time, but not all the time, we sing without any text. So the yodel technique is without any text. We sing only on vowels, on nonsense text, on syllables. We know two different types of yodeling. We call it yodel lied. This is a yodel with the text part, and then we have the refrain, which is with yodel syllables and the yodel technique. And the very archaic kind of yodeling we call naturjodel, and there we don't have any text, we sing it only on the syllables, and it works like dialects. So not everywhere in Switzerland we have this naturjodel, but there where we have it, there you can hear, he or she is from Appenzell, and this other guy, he is from Berner Oberland, and so you can find out from where somebody is when she or he do the yodel, the naturjodel. That you have a little bit an idea how does it sound in Switzerland. Here you can find the most important regions where we know that naturjodel, you can see it there. We will listen to 3 short examples which are very typical for that regions. We start first in the very eastern part, it's A, in Appenzell Innerrhoden. There you can hear the naturjodel in a very vibratic singing, so they have a lot of vibrato. We say it's because they sing also in the church choir, and they use syllables you can hear in other parts of Switzerland, like tra, li, dio, and dido. This you find only in this small part, and the accompaniment is with violin, dulcimer, cello, and double bass. These are 2 sisters. that region of Appenzell Innerrhoden you can find Toggenburg, it's sea, it's a valley, and in that valley they sing higher, much more higher than in Toggenburg, and they sing very straight. There you can hear mostly only men singing the yodel in very high voices, and they have also this slow version, but in mostly every Naturjodel you can find also a faster kind of yodeling, and that sounds like that. Only men. Example is from Murtertal. Murtertal is that region where you can find the oldest field research and the most archaic way of yodeling. Sometimes they use also the Alphorn Fa. This is the fourth, which is a little bit higher, the natured scale fourth. And here you can hear it in the second part. We will listen to a traditional Naturjodel called the Filgauer. It's not so typical, it's a male fourth singer and a female second singer. Three regions for my ears. I don't know how it is like for Finnish ears, but it's very different, and we have these typical things we do only in that region, So this is the traditional way of yodeling in Switzerland. In Switzerland we know different groups or styles we sing. We sing it in smaller groups, like in the Silvesterklausen, it's a heritage we do in the winter time only in Appenzell Ausserrhoden. And these are groups from 5 to 12 men who do the yodel together. They sing this Zäuerli we learned in the workshop this morning. We have also choirs. They sing at the kind of competition ships in Yodelfest. Here you can see the competition ship situation in front of a jury. There we sing as a choir, we sing as a duo, solo or a trio, but we sing also up in the mountain when we feel comfortable. There are different possibilities where we sing the yodel. I work together with the Yodel Association in the group, in the editorial group where we put the yodel onto the nomination for UNESCO. It's EJV, it's the National Association for Yodeling in Switzerland, but we work also together with Hochschule Luzern, which is my part, and then we have a center for traditional folk music in Appenzell and Toggenburg, we heard about now, and we are a group who works together in this editorial group. For to understand the nomination process, I would like to tell you a little bit about the cultural things happening in Switzerland. So, what about intangible cultural heritage in Switzerland, and how did the yodeling candidacy come about? You have to know a little bit about the cultural policy framework in Switzerland. We are a federalistic system, and we have, as you probably know, 4 languages in Switzerland. We have 26 cantons organized in 5 big cities, but most yodel you can find on countryside, so a lot of people live also on countryside. Very important is that all these cantons, these 26 cantons, are autonomous. They have an autonomous budget for the cultural things, and the the Confederation of Switzerland is only responsible or limited to matters of national interest in cultural policy. So it's we have small gardens in every canton, but it's also very important. And we have this private sector, we have these associations, and in case of yodel we have this yodel association, but we have also smaller associations who took care, for example, for the Naturjodel in Muttertal, and so this is quite important that we have all these associations. The implementing process actually for UNESCO started in 2012. We did this living tradition list for the national things, and there nowadays you can find more than 200 entries on that list, and we have also some yodel entries on that list. For example, that Silvesterklausen, you saw the picture just before, yodel and Naturjodel. And in 2014 the Office for Culture did a list, started the nomination process, and a group of experts selected 8 items to put on this international list. Not an easy job because of this 4 language, because of these 26 cantons, because of different cultural subjects, and because also of to be traditional and inventional. So it was quite, I think, I'm really lucky that I'm only in the group for yodel, not in that group. These 8 tasks are on that list. 6 of them are already inscribed, some of them also in a multi-international, together with Austria, you can see, for example, or with France. And hopefully this year we will inscribe the yodel. So this would be the 7th, and then we have 1 left. So the nomination process of yodel was like that. So first of all, in 2014 I was first time invited to a meeting where a lot of people were coming, and then we didn't hear anything about it. I changed my job from a cultural institution to the University of Lucerne, and then in 2022 somebody of this office, cultural office, called me, hey, we start the process for yodeling, maybe it would be a good idea that you work in that group. And I said, okay, how does it function? So then we had this first meeting with a lot of yodel experts and employees of the Federal Office of Culture. These were these people, they worked also in the inscription of these other tasks, so they were really experienced. They had a lot of experience with that inscription process. Of course, it's my main task, it's my favorite thing in my life to do the yodel, to teach the yodel, and it was a big pleasure to work in that nomination, in that editorial group. But I knew from the start on that it will be a lot of work. So, but we started in January 23, and we started in a group of 6 persons from this association, together with these 2 employees from the Federal Office of Culture, and prepared all that things UNESCO is asking for this inscription process. So I don't know how you are into this process, so it's a file you have to fill with, for every task you fill the same question, so it's not important if you ask for winery or for yodel or for carnival, these are the same questions. There you have to find some safeguarding measures for your culture object. You have to bring them 10 photos, which are very typical to show the yodel. In our case, you have to find to make a movie about this culture object. This movie was very, very important for us because it was the only way to show the yodel how it sounds. So you cannot show it on pictures, you cannot show it on that file, and I think it was quite an important work to do that movie, but it was only 8 minutes, so it's so short, you cannot show everything, and it should be also a little bit clear and not that crazy thing. So yes, I think it was not easy to decide what we show on picture, what we show on this movie, what we fill in that file they asked for. But it was very important to have also 2 meetings with an expanded group of yodelers, of yodel teachers, of choir conductors, because you have to know yodel in Switzerland is mostly amateur thing. So we have in this association of yodel, you have 20,000 members who do that, but you have also a lot of people in cities who like to do the yodel. But it's for most of them it's not the job, but it's a very hard thing. So we meet with them twice, we discussed with them what shall we show on the photographs, what is important to show in that movie, what is important that we put on the list for the on the file for the safeguarding measures, what shall we do? And from that discussions we went to our monthly meeting in the smaller group, and we found out the tasks we concentrate on, and from that we did this file, my English, sorry, and we did the film and we did the picture. So, and in April 24 we sent everything to UNESCO, and since then we are waiting and waiting. So, but actually we don't only wait, so I will talk about later. For that you have a little bit an idea how does it sound and how does it work, this movie. I made a very short form of the movie. We decide that we will show a young man who grew up with yodeling, who do the yodel when he go up or go back with the cows from to the mountain, and he know the yodel from his family. We decide that we will show a course in the city of Zurich, because this is also at the moment very famous that you don't go to a break dance or something like that. So if you want to be cool, you go to a yodel course in a city. And we show also a youth camp where young people learn the yodel, and this is one of the only, we have 2 or 3 kinds of that camp, it could be more. And we show a very typical yodel choir in their preparing their concert. So elder men who do the yodel concert for their family and their friends. So you will find very short form from the short movie. So let's see. It's the way back from the mountain to the river.
hier wir fast so kommen. Jetzt mal an den Hoch und den Bühnen.
Also an option you can find in Switzerland. If you are very lucky, you can find yodelers sitting together in a restaurant and sing, but not so often, but it happens, yes. To find the safeguarding measures was one very important goal for that field, and it was very important and very interesting also to talk about, to discuss about it, what's important to bring the yodel to the future, what has to happen to do that. And we found 5 points we will concentrate on. And the first point is that there are several groups and also a lot of individuals who take care of the yodel, and so it's very important to bring them together, to coordinate it a little bit, to not only do that idea, this idea, so that they discuss with each other and they know about each other what they are doing. And for that we think, and we already started with it, that it's important to have a kind of oversee group who take care for the connection between all these different groups, organizations, individuals, and we call it at the moment Yodeling Forum, or in German Yodel Forum, and we already started, and people from that associations, but also other, are part of it. The second is that we think, and it was for me also an idea which I heard last year here when we had a speech about Yoik and Sami culture, that it's very important that school children know about yodeling, so that's one idea, is that we bring the yodel to the children, that they learn about yodel during their primary school, for example. Then the third task is that we force a good education. So there are young yodelers, there are also a little bit older yodelers, but there are not so many good voice teachers specialized in yodel technique. But it's a technique, it's a kind of voice pedagogic, and our idea is to force, to promote that and to bring them to a good education. So, and another point is that we would like to take care for the image of yodel. So one thing is that during and after the Second World War, yodel was also a kind of mental national defense. So this is sometimes in the head of the people, and we think should be a little bit more open, and that this image can disappear somehow. And it's like she told just before, that it's concentrate on music and singing and not on political things. And last point, very important point, there are researches, there are different archives. You can find some Yodel stuff online, but you have something there in that on that platform, and the idea is to bring that digital things, documentation, archives, researches a little bit more together. These are our 5 safeguarding measures. I'm sure in next 20-25 years there is a lot of work to do. We already started. It's not only waiting for UNESCO inscription, so no. This is a part of our group. Now we are 7-8 people, they are working right now, but we have also for different tasks other people they are working, so the idea is that we are like a tree. So we had first our Stamm, I don't know the word in English, the middle trunk, yes, and now we have more branches coming out, and yeah, it's very a happy development now. Since April 24 we work as that Yodel forum, and we coordinate and initiate first steps of these safeguarding measures. First of all, before we started with that, we did around 30 interviews with people from education, from politics, with Yodelers of course, and to find out how they are thinking about the safeguarding measures, what would be important for them to bring as a real, that it really matters, happens. So that was the first step, and now from that on we started with Yodeln des Klassenzimmer, this yodeling classroom. We have 20 yodelers, they are also primary school teachers. They start in August with yodeling in their classroom, and from that we will develop more stuff for other teachers, and we go to the pedagogic high school, and so it's the process has started. So we started also on a platform where you can find digital music sheets for yodel, and to put there a kind of youth and children's literature, because until now you could find only adult stuff, and it's very important. So the children sing sometimes too low songs, and now we have 4 young choir leaders, they take care for that point. And we found also a children's choir in Basel, because in Basel is one of the biggest cities in Switzerland. There will be the national competitionship of yodeling next year, and so we thought it would be nice that there the children know about the yodel. And we did do now an analysis about digitalization options for yodel music sheets that started, and there we are on the way. And we are very optimistic. We plan a day of yodel at the 13th December, because this is the Saturday of the week where UNESCO meet in New Delhi, and we hope that UNESCO will say yes, yodel is coming to that list. We don't know what's happened, but the Yodel Day will happen. We will do there some workshops, different yodel styles. We will have a discussion at a round table about different tasks in yodeling, and also the UNESCO thing. And we will do this, we don't know if it's happened, but we will celebrate the inscription together with the head of our government in Switzerland, and a lot of yodel, and also some school classes who do the yodel, because they started in August, and in December they will have a big repertoire of yodel songs. So we will planning that Yodel Day. If you are interested to know more about the nomination, you can find the 8-minute long movie and the file and the photographs here on the homepage from ICH UNESCO. There you can find all the nominations, and yes, it's a very interesting process. It took me a lot of hours, a little bit less sleep, but it's very fruitful work, and I'm really happy to be part of it, because I think it's very important, not only the yodel, I think it's very important that we sing together, and it's a kind of communication. So thank you for listening, and if there is any question, please ask.
Yes, thank you so much for this lovely presentation and wonderful examples. Would you have questions here for Nadja?
I could comment on the question of Lauri Anna from the Folk-Music-Instituutti, and actually I was speaking Thursday a little about the Kaustinen safeguarding program, and it was fun to see that there was a lot of same safeguarding measures and activities that you do in national level that we meet here in local level, like for instance improving the awareness of the school teachers. We have talked a lot about here that in Kaustinen. But then I have a question about what you talked about improving the image of yodeling, because this may not be so polite, but I have a bit of a kitschy image of yodeling in my head, and when I actually tried to find that UNESCO video of yours, and I recommend that you would put it also in YouTube, because I tried to share it with some of our social media postings, and at the UNESCO platform they are very unshareable.
Oh.
So put it in regular YouTube.
So I have to ask
but when I try to find that video, I write to YouTube like Swiss yodeling, and the videos that first came there, they were like, there was some man with who looked like basically a playboy wearing a traditional suit, and then in the image there was like all the cliches that are associated with
cheese,
mountains and the cheese and the big cowbell and all stuff. So have you thought about is this kind of kitschy image, is it just some old image in mind, or do you see it as some kind of a problem? Or?
No, we know about it. It's also because of the touristic system. So it's also really connected to the tourism. So we have that side also, and you can find it also in the file. It's not. It's actually I put only the short form of the safeguarding measures in the presentation. Yeah. So it's also a thing we have in our mind, not the main thing, but it's very good to know about it. It's your view on it, but it's a very important view. So yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to ask about little technical things about the singing. I'm a classical voice teacher at Central University here. We work a lot with the Folk-Musiikki-instituutti in different projects. And when I'm looking at it, for the men it seems like they've strengthened the falsetto side of the voice. Yeah. And then it seems like very extremely relaxed jaw, lots of soft palate activity, and then the larynx is freely tilting. Is that why you did that exercise where you're sort of leaning forward so that the larynx can?
Actually, yes, because I'm also classical trained.
Yeah.
I grew up since my childhood with
yodel. So I have to get to speak with you this week before you.
Yes, and my main idea is that I will want to find technical helps to be freer with the voice. And nowadays, for me, it's a little bit a problem. When you listen to very traditional yodel, they do it sometimes with a lot of pressure. Yeah. And so I want to find a technique which sounds as yodel,
Yeah.
but not that much pressure. So, and because of that, I work with movements and
Yeah,
so.
like,
And we need to have a lot of space here because
Yeah.
of the overtones. So,
yeah.
and when you do lift up the head, chest voice, some of them they lift up also the larynx,
Yeah.
and then you have not so much space, so you don't have that many overtones.
And you
it's-
don't get the volume because the
Yes.
overtones give you the flying
Yes,
voice. As seems like if you live in mountainous area and you get that technique, it's
Yeah.
like everywhere
Yeah.
because it's
Yeah.
coming back to you
Yes,
from
you
the
can
hard
hear it.
surface.
Echo.
Acoustical, yeah.
Yeah.
It's really interesting because I think it would be great for any singer who has a little bit of a tightness here problem that my voice is not going upwards to practice this
I know.
without it having to be like classical music.
Yes.
Just practice this and maybe have some easier feeling towards it because we have a lot of popular music nowadays on the radio where you're so tight.
Actually, I'm employee at University Lucerne for yodel teaching, but I work also with the jazz singers, so only technical
And are you
things.
doing this with
Yes.
them? And
Yes.
what do they think about it?
Yeah, they think, oh, now it's much more easy to sing. So
Yes,
yeah, it's
because
helpful.
we put ourselves in our, recorded music into a tight, uncomfortable place. Interesting.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Other questions?
I was just wondering, has yodel then found its way into a lot of like popular or art music as well?
I don't understand the last.
Popular art music is the yodel style there.
Yes, you can find it nowadays. There are some pop singers, they use the yodel as well. I'm joking about it, not in a bad way, but as you know, it's not so easy to sell CDs nowadays.
Yeah.
But in folk music, you can sell CDs, and if you put some yodel on a pop song, and then you can sell more CDs. So it's a commercial thing sometimes, yes. But there exists also a new yodel scene where you can find it, for example, for theater projects and on smaller stages, not in that very traditional way. So we have different types, yes.
I have one more question. Well, just because there was a lot of choir on the bottom and then the yodelers, one or two. Is it based on sort of a traditional choir harmony type of, or anything, or is it still a lot of dissonance, or it seemed like it was very traditional choir piece?
Yeah, it was everything you could hear. It was very traditional, and we have this choir tradition, but we have also this soloist tradition. So, and most time that what you hear now, it was the choir was singing only the harmony. And the harmony is not that difficult. It's only 1 5 1 5, sometimes 4. So
exactly.
and we only sing in major. No
it's
minor. Really
no
seldom
minor
minor.
key.
It's very sad. But we can sing very melancholic in major.
Really?
Yes.
That's interesting.
Other questions, or I think if we have time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I have a lot of
We can talk later.
exactly. I will ask some of them later also, but maybe one question earlier here, like related, perhaps the one about the previous ones. So how common is it when you showed when it was like tuned in the up form side, the and forth was like very different int different interval. So how common is it like to still use the like the traditional scales which are different from the tuned ones?
I'm not sure if I understand you right, but nowadays you cannot hear that much this natural scale. It's only in Murtertal you can hear it, and they use this fourth, that high fourth, but also the lower seven you can find, and really seldom they sing 4 different thirds. So it's very seldom. On all the research recordings you can find it. So we have a researcher, actually he was Swiss but lived in French, Hugo Zemp. He made a lot of recordings from Murtertal, and there he found out these different thirds exists too. But nowadays it's mostly only in Murtertal. I think it's very sad that they disappeared, and it's also, we call it Naturjodel, and one reason is also because this was also sung in natural scale, so, but it disappeared because you can hear only, also the folk music is mostly in temperature scale, yes.
So is the yodeler then singing, if you have like a choir like you had there, are they singing the tunes from the chords, or do they do some variation? Is it improvised there, or is it just the chord tones?
No, it's mostly composed, so it's
composed, so you're repeating this, okay.
Yeah, it's not improvised music, but we tried that the choir is they have a lot of overtones. Good choirs have a lot of overtones in the sound.
Yodeler, do they use the overtone scale to, when they go up and down, or no? Some.
Because of that I sung this,
exactly.
I think I didn't do the fa.
Yeah.
And one important thing, because of that I wear that. A lot of yodelers wear the traditional clothes for singing, but not only. You can yodel also without traditional clothes. But I thought when I come to Finland I will wear, it's not that we have more complicated clothes, traditional clothes. It's easy for traveling this, so. But it's from my hometown, it's the daily traditional clothes, so yes.
Very nice.
Yes.
So thank you for
Yes. We take just a 2 minutes break and then we start with your presentation. So don't go far away.